Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to this edition of CMJ World Vlogs. I am your host, August C. Jones. And so on this edition, I'm going to talk about wrestling. Now, I was thinking about how I was going to name this video, because I had it, wrestling is fake, but so is everything else. But I know the F word is very, very sacrilege in the whole wrestling community. You don't call wrestling fake. You don't. And it's just a whole running thing and whatnot. But in the same sense, let's just go with it. Right? Let's just go with it. Wrestling is fake, but so is everything else. And what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. So I had a conversation with someone recently, and I've had this conversation with other people and had these thoughts running through my head. So I know if you watch wrestling, or if you watch wrestling, you more than likely had multiple people, friends, family, co-workers, classmates, whoever, talk about like, oh, you watch wrestling? That's so fake. My pop still say that to me. If I'm watching wrestling over at his crib, he'll be like, it's so fake. You know, everybody says that. If I tell anybody that I'm watching wrestling, I already know what the response is going to be. Oh, that's so fake. How can you watch that? That's fake. And it's like, do you not watch TV or movies? Like, it kind of like dawns on me. Like, you're so quick to sit there and be like, oh, that's so fake. But then go watch a John Wick movie. It's just, I don't understand it. It's like, and I get there are similarities, but there are big differences when you're talking about a John Wick, Marvel, movies like that, or Power, or something like that, or shows like that, as compared to wrestling. I get that there are blatant and clear as day, like, differences. Then, you know, what and it's like, okay, but at the same time, what do they all have in common? They are all fake. A lot of them have scripted like things for like the wrestlers to say, and even if they don't, the program that they're in, which is the rivalry that they're in, is fake. It's fictional. It's put together. Yes, but also everything in Power. You think those people really died? You think they're really shooting the gun? Like a real gun trying to kill somebody? You really think that that's real drugs? John Wick, you really think he killed all them people? You really think that John Wick is like, he exists as an assassin? You really believe that the Continental is real? No, all of it is fake. It's all written. All of it. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, it's all fake. And so when people say that to me, like, oh, wrestling is so fake, why you watch that? It's like, bro, the fuck, like, what do you expect it to be? If you want to watch something that's more real, go watch the UFC, go watch MMA, go watch boxing or something of that nature, go watch any other type of stuff. Watch Power Slap. I think that's what it's called, Power Slap or whatever. But go watch something like that if you want realism. But it's like, wrestling is like a show like anything else. It's made to entertain. That's why WWE coined the phrase sports entertainment or whatever. But essentially, no matter if it's AEW, WWE, whatever it is, it's all revolving around that mantra. It's all sports entertainment. No matter whether they want to call it that or not, it is all the same. They're all are playing characters. They're rivals. I hate this person, even though in real life they're best friends. They probably went, oh, he was at my wedding, you know, or, you know, just something like that. Or people that don't have anything to do with each other on camera, but they're best friends behind the scenes. It's like, it's all the same. They're playing characters, having rivalries. Certain things are scripted, and it don't have to be like what they're saying in their promos, but essentially how it's going to play out. So you and this person are going to beef or whatever, or going to have like a rivalry for these many months, and it's going to lead to this, and then blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing with a movie. You're sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to have these people do this and do that, and where this rivalry and this conflict is going to lead to. So it's all essentially the same thing. It's just movies are made to look real, you know. And with wrestling, because of the fact that it is live, Even if it's like pre-recorded, it's still in front of people. It's not like they're doing it in an empty warehouse where they can do a whole bunch of tricks and editing and whatever to make it look real. It's like they're in front of people, so they're not about to sit there and punch each other for real. They're not about to do that, because just think of how crazy everything will look if they hit them like really hard in the head with a shovel or a ladder or something like that, and they really was trying to hurt people. Do you think certain people would have as many matches as they would? No, certain people will probably have one match and then be retired because the concussion caused them brain damage, or, you know, because they fractured this or fractured that, because they hurt their neck. Now they can't do it no more, else they'll be paralyzed or probably even die. Do you realize how much that will affect a person's performance? So yeah, I mean, if you go to a theater to watch a play or ballet, it's basically the same stuff. You can watch that and enjoy it for what it was, the story that they're telling, whatever it is. And you know that, like, if there's violence involved, if somebody shoots something, shoot a gun or punch somebody or slap somebody or something like that, get into a fight, it's not gonna look real. It's not gonna look real. It is, because it's not. You know, if they're punching each other, you're gonna have the sound effect. A lot of times it probably might not even be on cue. So it's like, but you can sit there and you can enjoy that and be like, oh, that was a great play. Oh, that was a great ballet, because ballet is the same. I know in certain ballets, and well, I haven't been to a ballet, so I'm just guessing off of what I've seen in movies and shows, that some of them kind of come off like a play, but it is more structured, you know, ballet dancing and stuff. But they do have moments where it's kind of like a play because they're telling the story. And it's just like that. If you can enjoy something like that, then you can enjoy wrestling. It's a mixture in between that and more of like what happens in movies. Because it's like, you don't look at a show like Power or Game of Thrones or Loki, or you don't look at a movie like Fast and Furious and all that stuff and be like, oh, that's so fake. I mean, Fast and Furious, you probably might be like that, but you still enjoy it for what it is. You still like those movies. John Wick, you know that's gotten ridiculous, but you still like it. You're like, oh yeah, John Wick, man, he a bad motherfucker. It's like, but you look at wrestling like, oh, that's fake. It's like, and that's the thing. Going back to the whole injury aspect of it, it's like, the one thing that I can say is, and you probably may disagree with me, but it's an actual fact, that wrestling essentially is more real than what movie or show you might watch on TV. And this is why I say it's more real, because everybody, 100% of the wrestlers that wrestle, even some non-wrestlers, they all do their own stunts. You can't find not one wrestler on this god green earth, and I'm not talking about for a movie, I'm talking about for an actual wrestling show, whether televised or otherwise, that don't perform their own stunts. It's like, you can't. You're in front of the crowd, you're in front of people, and it'd be weird to have like, oh yeah, I'm about to jump off the top rope and then kind of get down and have somebody else do it, and then they run out the ring and then you go over there and cover them, and it'd be like that. The only way I can see that is like a tag team. You know, it's just, that's the only way I can see it. And like, but at the same time, everybody does their own stunts. When it comes to movies, you can't find that many actors that are acting in action films that do their own stunts. They probably might do a certain percentage of their own stunts, but when it comes to the overall scope of like everything that they do, they don't. And that's why I say wrestling is more real, because it is more dangerous. Don't get me wrong, people have gotten killed on movie sets probably more than they've gotten killed in the wrestling ring, and a lot of people can get hurt on a movie set, or, you know, just on a set. But at the same time, people have died from wrestling in the ring. One notable one is Owen Hart. Even though that was like a freak accident, people can still get hurt. And there's literally videos of people actually getting hurt, breaking their legs, breaking their arms, getting like a gash over their head where they're just bleeding profusely, and just all these different injuries that stem from just how dangerous wrestling is. Whether you're being the most safe in the ring or whether or not, accidents can happen, just like it can happen on the movie set. but you're more prone to being injured in a wrestling ring than you are on a movie set, with everything kind of like if you look at the making of certain scenes, they are so protected, they are so well, like, just really, like, I guess you could say, yeah, protected, to where there is, in a lot of scenes, there is no way that this person can get injured. But in the wrestling ring, anything can happen. You could be the most safest person and still get injured. Certain things that happen, you know? And that's why I look at it as, like, people will sit here and talk. Oh, wrestling is so fake, and all this stuff. It's like, well, yeah, so is everything else that you watch. If you can sit there and watch a John Wick, if you can sit there and watch a fucking Sharknado, and really, like, get into it, but then you're gonna sit here on the other hand and call wrestling fake. It's like, bro, Sharknado. Let's think about this real quick. Sharknado. And that's the same, like my pops, he's a funny guy. He loves a lot of movies. Hallmark, that's a whole nother thing. He loves Hallmark. He loves westerns. He loves old films, black and white or whatnot. But he also loves the B films. He loves the films that are like Sci-Fi Channel, the Sharknadoes, the Dino Crocs, the movies that they were making like every month or every so often, that was just Octoshark, you know, just stupid stuff like that he likes. But yet, like I said before, he is a person that will walk past the screen while I'm watching wrestling and be like, oh, that's so fake. And it's like, Dad, you sit here and watch movies called Dino Shark, Sharknado, and stuff like that, and you're calling this fake? Like, I don't know. Like, I just look at it, I guess you could say it does bug me, but not in the sense of like, oh, wrestling is like just deep in my veins and I love it and I don't want you to criticize it. It's like, yeah, I could tell you that, like, yeah, this thing I love watching is fake. It is written, it's scripted. The gimmicks, people aren't how they are in the ring, outside the ring, and all that stuff. They rivals in the ring, but outside they're best friends. Yeah, great. You can point that out. But also point out the movie that you just watched last night, or the movie that you just watched earlier today, the show you watched. Also point out that's fake. Like, none of that is real. It's all scripted. It's more scripted than wrestling. It's more protected than wrestling is. Like, if we're going to talk about how fake wrestling is, let's talk about how fake the movie that you just watched is. So I feel like, just, I don't know, man, just keep your comments to yourself. You're gonna feel how you're gonna feel. If you don't like wrestling, you don't like wrestling. You don't have to. I'm not here to convince you that wrestling is the best thing on earth. It's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm not here to do that. I'm not. If you don't like it, cool. If you do like it, great. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about some CM Punk coming back to WWE. Let's talk about Randy Orton's return. Let's talk about Cody taking the title from Roman at WrestleMania. Let's talk about some MJF stuff. Let's talk about that. But other than that, man, like, let me watch my fake stuff, you watch your fake stuff, and let's all just enjoy this fake stuff that is entertaining to us. That's all I have to say. But yeah, that ends this conversation of my thoughts about the whole wrestling thing. And I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. And if you like what you heard, you agree, disagree, whatever, but you respect my, you know, my thoughts, my opinions, my facts that I've presented to you guys, go ahead, give me a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace out, stay safe, and let's enjoy this fake shit.